Welcome to Positive Energy with Crystals. My name's Hillary, and today is part of the series where I work with a crystal for an entire month. Research it, carry it with me every day, learn about it, and then I tell you what I liked, what I didn't like, what I learned, all that stuff. And for May 2026, I chose Blue Kyanite. Now remember, this is my experience. Your experience may be different, and if it is, let me know. I love hearing all your stories. I was not expecting this. This was, I don't know how to explain it right now. You'll see. So I wanted another gentle crystal for me, and Blue Kyanite has always felt gentle when I picked it up, and I've had this piece for a long time, and I've wanted to work with it for a while, but it's so fragile. I didn't want it to break, and I know carrying it in my pocket would have broke it. And then, fairly recently, I bought this piece that's polished and sealed, and it's more durable. I can put it in with my daily carry crystals, and it's totally fine. I didn't have to worry about it breaking. And it's gonna go with me I'm still gonna carry it for June, and I'll get into a little bit more coming up why I'm gonna carry it with me still. I can't wait to tell you everything, and I'm a little flustered and excited and hyper and kind of calm, and this is great. From my research, I discovered that there are many types and colors of kyanite, and like other crystals that have different colors available, there are several properties of kyanites, like the blue versus black versus orange and all those. So there's some general properties for all kyanites, and then there are some for just the specific colors. And so there's several properties that are just for the blue kyanite that I'm going to list. The thing is I'm not going to separate them out. General kyanite versus blue kyanite, which I usually do in a video where there's, like that, because it would take forever, and this is already going to be a long video. So my intro is already, I will edit some stuff out, but it's almost at 4 minutes, so that's just the intro. So all kyanites harmonize well with each other, and several books I read recommended using them in combination together, and that they really work really, really well together. So I'll have to remember that for future. Right now, the only ones I own are blue, and then I have some black. Let's get started. So, blue kyanite doesn't need to be cleansed. It doesn't absorb negative energy. I still usually cleanse crystals even though they don't need to be cleansed, like blue kyanite, selenite, all those. Just, it doesn't hurt anything. It makes me feel good, I guess, and it can't hurt it. So I usually still do, especially when I get a new crystal. I may not be very good about it later, but when it's a new crystal, I definitely do. Anyway, let's get into this. Blue kyanite aids in communication and self-expression. And we will see this crystal again when I get to the throat chakra video in my chakra series. I had a lot of communication to do this month with planning a trip, setting up some appointments for family member, getting my new cell phone, all the stuff. and it definitely helped. I used to use lapis lazuli as my favorite communication crystal, but blue kyanite might be my new favorite. I still love lapis lazuli, and there are times I feel like it is still the better crystal for some situations. Like, I think lapis lazuli is great for like a large group or maybe something like a job interview, but blue kyanite is my new favorite for like one-on-one conversations where we got to discuss some stuff and I got to make sure that I'm saying the right things and communicating correctly. I will be taking it to all my doctor's appointments from now on because I think that it'd be great for that. Blue kyanite increases perseverance and mental stamina. I saw this. I'm planning a trip to Colorado, and it takes a lot of planning because I need to plan everything so detailed so I can see who I want to see. I have a place to stay every night. If there are appointments that need to be made, I have to work those in. It just, mental stamina takes a lot. And the perseverance to get all that planned. I hate planning a trip to Colorado. I love going to see my family, but I hate the planning because there's just so much planning involved. It takes a lot of mental stamina and perseverance to get it all planned, especially when I have to wait for others to give me the times that they're available or to do something so that I can make the plan. So, yeah, that was a good one. It boosts psychic ability and communication, helps develop your intuition, and encourages you to connect with the spiritual self. Helps telepathic communication between individuals, especially if both people are carrying blue kyanite, which I thought that was kind of cool. I have to admit that my divination readings were pretty accurate this month. Now, part of that might be because I was also I have the Crystal Keys Tarot, and I've been working with that a lot lately. I recorded the video walkthrough of that, but it won't. I don't know when it's going to post, but it's coming. You'll see it. That deck and I, well, you'll see it when. It may be because that deck and I connected really well, and it could be because while I was working with that deck, I was carrying the blue kyanite, and blue kyanite just kind of fits that deck, I think. Anyway, that's not part of this video. Also, I connected more to parts of my spiritual practice that I've sort of ignored for a while and needed to connect to again. Blue kyanite is calming. It has a tranquilizing energy. It restores the body's balance, quieting the mind, creating stillness, and opening the mind, and good for meditation. One thing I have learned from doing these monthly working videos is if I'm carrying a crystal with me every day, all day, when it is bedtime, I get some of the effects for bedtime. If it's a high energy crystal, I have a hard time going to sleep. If it's a good crystal for calming and sleep and dreams, I notice that too. We will get to exactly how it affected my sleep in a little bit. I'm saving that for the last one because holy cow, you'll see. But blue kyanite it's like I was saying, it's that gentle, calming, so it's creativity. Surprisingly, yes, this helped. I'm working on blankets for Christmas gifts for nieces and nephews, and I'm doing different colors and patterns for 6 kids. It might be 9 or 10, depending on my timing and how much I get done. Anyway, I finished one last month, and the next one is coming together a lot faster and easier than the last one. I'll try to put up some pictures. The first one is a neon theme, and that's the one that's done. And the second one is still, I'm just working on the squares right now. It's a John Deere theme. So it's just blocks right now. And I can show the pics because my family doesn't watch my channel, so I can share that here. But I think it really helped me, like, the figuring out the process of and the patterns and all that. Blue Kyanite helps with astral projection. I have to admit, I've always thought the thought of astral traveling and projection kind of freaks me out a little bit. So if you use Blue Kyanite for astral travel, please share your experience in the comments. I'd like to hear that. I don't do that. I don't know. It just kind of freaks me out a little bit. Blue Kyanite helps damaged relationships, inspires loyalty, and helps get out of disputes or disagreements successfully. I don't think I had any of those experiences this month in May. Blue Kyanite helps balance yin-yang energy, which is, it makes sense. So health-wise, now remember, follow your doctor's prescriptions and treatments. Don't just depend on crystals. Blue Kyanite helps treat muscular disorders, fevers, thyroids, adrenal glands, throat, and brain. It's a natural pain reliever, helps with blood pressure, it releases excess weight, and heals infections. I actually have an experience for this one. Usually I say that you need to work with it for longer. So for like aquamarine, I noticed right away that what it helped. I always use it when I've got like bad allergies or cold or something. And Blue Kyanite is another one like that. I have been fighting, it's not really, it was an ear infection issue for a while. It's just kind of been annoying me and hasn't really gone away completely. I went on antibiotics once and it got better and then it came back. Of course, I was never flaring up during my regular doctor appointments. And I really didn't want to go into like a walk-in clinic or make another appointment with my doctor. So I kept putting it off and just kept putting it off and just kept putting it off. And I started carrying Blue Kyanite on May 1st. And then started researching ear infection treatments. When I was a kid, my mom had this olive oil mixture that she would warm up a little bit and put in our ear when we had ear pain. And then put a cotton ball in, and it felt so good. And it would help. And I couldn't remember what was in it. And I asked my sister because she used it way more than I ever did. And she said the key ingredient was garlic in the olive oil. And I didn't want to deal with making my own. Remember, I live in a camper and smells stick around for a long time. And we've got small storage area. But I did some research and found an oil on Amazon for ear infections and ear pain. And it sounded exactly like what my mom made. It just had a little bit more in it, I think. But it was made and had, it was in a bottle, and small bottle, and it'd be perfect. So by the time the oil showed up, about a week later, I've been carrying the Blue Kyanite, and the ear pain was gone. It comes back, kind of comes and goes a little bit, but I think it helped a lot. So the oil is in the cabinet, waiting until my next earache to try it out. I'm a little bummed I didn't get to see if the oil was as good as the one my mom made, but I'm okay with it. So that's how Blue Kyanite helped with my ear infection type of thing. Blue Kyanite helps with dream recall. It helps figure out the meaning and symbolism in dreams. It helps with visualization and foresight in dreams. this is the one I am most excited to share about what happened. I'm really trying not to bring up our dog Clover, who passed away in November, so much, but this experience needs to be shared. Before Clover, we had a mini dachshund named Sasha, who I had before I met my husband, and Clover was able to meet her and learn a few things from her. We also had an amazing black lab named Chaos, and we had our grumpy cat named Gunner. I had other pets before them, but these were the ones that, that were mine and my husband's, and that we were personally responsible for, not just, family pets. I've really been missing pretty much all of them. I have always had a pet, and it feels weird and a little lonely not to have one. I also miss the protection of having one. Even my cat and my dachshund were protective. And I've been thinking about them and missing them a lot, especially Clover. It's been 5 months without her, and she was definitely the most protective, specifically of me, which was kind of surprising because she was abused before, and so she was a little bit of chicken too. So I had a very, very, very vivid dream that there was a group of pets around me, and first I couldn't figure out what was going on, and then I realized that there were some I recognized. There were two smaller ones that I didn't recognize. And for some reason, I was really, really obsessed with booping one of their noses. It's just, it was kind of weird. And when I would boop their nose, it would get excited, I would get excited. It was a thing. So then there was a blackish, smaller animal that sort of kind of kept out on the edge, would come in when he felt like it, and then he'd walk out when he was done. That was definitely my cat Gunner. Only wanting attention when he decided he wanted it, but also wanted to be recognized, mostly so you didn't forget his food, but he was there, you knew it, but he didn't want all the attention on him. Then there was my little Sasha, who was so excited to be recognized. And Chaos, who was also excited, but was also kind of keeping an eye on everyone and making sure nobody was left out. And that was definitely Chaos's personality. Then there was a dog that kept leaning into me, and Clover did that to us all the time. We called it her hugs. At first I couldn't figure out what this dog was doing. And I didn't recognize it. The dog didn't, how do I say this? It wasn't like a recognizable dog. So I didn't know who it was until like right before I woke up. I realized it was Clover. And she's only been gone for 5 months. So I don't think, you always hear about when they've been gone a while, they, even in humans, can make it look like themselves. And when they're kind of newer to being gone, they don't quite know everything. And I think that's what happened. She was leaning into me so that I knew it was her. That didn't mean know that she was there. She would always lean into us, especially when she was happy to see us. And I know for a fact that was her. She just didn't have that like focused form yet. And I think since I've been thinking of all of them so much, especially missing Clover, they all decided to come let me know that they're okay, they're together, and maybe that there are 2 more fur babies coming. One that really, really likes their nose booped, which that'll be fun. I had a few other very vivid dreams with messages that I was able to interpret pretty easily, but this one was definitely, this was a good one. And I needed it. In conclusion, my opinion of blue kyanite is it is now one of my most favorite crystals. It's going to go on my upcoming trip with me. It's staying out in my easy to grab box with my bracelets so that when I need to go for an appointment or whenever I just feel like I need it, I can grab it really easy, not have to dig through my storage and find it. This piece will be in there. This piece will go back in storage just because I don't want anything to happen to it. But it was amazing. I loved it. If you've had any experience with blue kyanite, please share. It's, like I said, it's amazing. I love it. I highly recommend it. I want to know all the stories. So next month, oops. Oh, put it on here to try and make it easier. I'm going with smoky quartz. And I haven't decided. I think I'm going to go with one of these. Because I'm most bonded with these. This one's smaller. But these two I really have a close connection with. Probably this one. I'll have to put it in something because it's got a bunch of raw edges that I don't want to damage, like my amethyst and that blue kyanite. But I'm going on a trip, like I said. I need some extra protection, help irrational fears and relieve fear and protection against chaotic energy and all that. And I decided it's time for smoky quartz. So that'll be June's crystal, and I've got tons of it. These are some of my newer pieces, but we'll talk more about smoky quartz and why I'm taking one of these instead of like these little tumbled. You think I'd choose one of those, but I'm not. So that's it for this month. If you've got any questions about blue kyanite or experiences, please let me know. And same with smoky quartz, and I can put that in next month's video. So right now I'm sending you lots of positive energy, and I will see you next time.